All right, everybody, so welcome back to another episode of Colton Posey Fishing. So, I kind of wanted to do this video because I didn't really do a lot of review videos at all, but, I kind of wanted to talk about these setups and stuff because I get a lot of questions about like what rod and reel should I buy, what line should I buy, what baits should I buy, just, what should I buy? And my answer is always the same. It's kind of, whatever you're comfortable with. Something that I like, you may not like. Something you like, I may not like. It's just personal preference. But at the same time, I can give you my idea of why I like this stuff. I'm going to go over some stuff, some higher end stuff and some lower end stuff. But maybe you show this video to your wife or something that needs to buy you something for Christmas. Maybe she'll buy you something for Christmas. But either way, we're going to go over some of that stuff, so stay tuned. There's something you don't want to miss. All right, everybody, so let's jump into, I don't know, I kind of want to do the higher end stuff first, but, I started working with Thunderhawk lures at the beginning of this year. It's been a big change, okay, because I'm very, very particular about my rods, my reels. I like some high-end stuff, and I like some low-end stuff. And I have reasons for everything that I like and that I dislike, obviously. But, Thunderhawk asked to send me one of their rods to try. And I told them, I said, I'm going to try it, but I'm going to try it my way. So I did that, and, I did stuff with the rod that I wasn't supposed to be doing, like getting my baits hung up in trees and stuff, and then just setting the hook as hard as I can, make sure these are going to hold up. A couple times, by accident, setting the hook on fish, hitting my trolling motor head, just jamming that rod up, almost 90 degree in it. Either way, I've kind of intentionally and accidentally put these rods through the ringer, but the first one I want to talk about is the Tyco series rod, okay? This is the one you see me use all the time on my swim baits and jerk baits, crankbaits, stuff like that, but it's a carbon rod. It is super light, okay? But it's in that $300 price range, but it's a super lightweight rod, and it is very, very sensitive. Now, here's the thing. I know, you hear people say, yeah, everybody says their rods are sensitive. True, that is true. Everybody does say that, but I've used everything from, G Loomis and just a bunch of different brands of rods, from Impulse rods, all different kinds. And I've got to say, as far as lightweight and stuff, this matches that. But as far as sensitivity, this is the most sensitive rod I've ever used. Now, there's some hiccups to that. The bad part is that a lot of the rods that I do use is in that $100 to $150 range. This $300 rod is so sensitive, it can be kind of annoying because certain stuff, you know what I'm talking about. If you use a rod for so long, you get used to the way everything feels. You know if you're hitting brush, you know if you're hitting rock, you know if you're getting bit. Sometimes you even know what kind of bite you're getting, whether that's a brim or a bass or whatever the case may be. But, with this being such a super sensitive rod, I had to really kind of reset how I fish because I was feeling everything, and everything kind of felt like a bite was the biggest thing. Now, when I got bit, I knew it was a bite. But, kind of adjusting and getting used to how sensitive the rod was really kind of upped my game as far as swim bait, jig fishing, crankbait fishing, all that stuff, because I could feel more, I could tell what I was on, So either way, this is the Lew's Classic Speed Spool. This is like a $60 Walmart special. I really have enjoyed this reel on this rod. I like the Lew's Speed Spools for swim bait reels. I do go with a higher speed ratio, 7.3 to 1, I think. 7.5 to 1 gear ratio, 15-pound fluorocarbon. And I just want that speed because a lot of times when these fish are, especially spotted bass, are chasing that swim bait or something, because I just use this rod for swim baits, they hit it from behind and knock slack in, and I want to be able to catch up to them pretty quick. And, I'm not really setting the hook as hard as I can with a swim bait. I'm basically reeling into them and then pulling, okay? So, that torque on that reel, not a whole lot of torque, but, bringing that line up quickly and pulling into them, it really drives that hook home, especially when you're using the bigger swim baits. But, either way, that Tyco series rod is going to come into you at about $300, and then the reel itself is going to come at you about $60. So, you know, if you're looking in that $400 range, I'd highly suggest the Tyco series. Oh, one thing that I forgot, the only thing I don't like about the Tyco series, I don't like the hook keeper, okay? I like it that it's on the back, but the hook keeper that they put on here is kind of annoying getting your hooks on and off, especially if you got bigger hooks. You know, I don't know. I would suggest doing something a little different. I don't know what, but you know, I'd do something a little different about the hook keeper. It's nice where it's at and it functions properly. It's just when you have bigger hooks, then it kind of becomes an issue getting it unhooked and stuff like that. And I don't want it dulling my hooks or anything like that. But let's talk about the next one. The next one I want to talk about is the Elite Series. Now, me personally, if I wasn't working with Thunderhawk and I had to buy one of their rods, or I didn't have to, I just wanted to buy one of their rods, this is the one that I would buy. I have really grown to love this rod. This is the Elite Series rod by Thunderhawk. This one's a spinning setup, but this joker is super lightweight, very well balanced. It's a very well balanced rod. It's very, very comfortable in your hand, very lightweight. It's not so sensitive that, you know, everything you touch feels like a fish bite, but it's just that perfect medium. And it may be because it's in that price range that I'm comfortable with, the price range that I typically go to. But at the same time, you know, maybe that's your high price range and you're really, really looking hard. I highly suggest these Elite Series rods. They are very, very good rods. I don't think you'd be disappointed when I've put this rod through the ringer, just like the Tyco series. And it's not carbon, but either way, it is a very durable, it's just very comfortable in your hand. I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those rods that I picked up the first time and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna have any issues using this at all, and I haven't. I absolutely love it. A lot of times I go to it just because I want to catch fish on it. It's just a very comfortable rod. But either way, the reel. These are the reels that I swapped to this year. These are the 13 Fishing Kalon A reels. These are not that bad price. I got two of them on sale for like 40 something bucks a piece. But either way, I've really grown to love these. I've always been a lose guy, but after using 13 Fishing this year, I may be a 13 Fishing guy, I'm not sure. But either way, the only thing I've got to say about this reel that I dislike is if you put a little bit too much line on it, it is easy to mess up. If you put just the right amount of line and stuff on it, it is immaculate. The drag system is one of the best in the game, in my opinion. 6.2 to 1 gear ratio, so you know you got that speed. I like speed when it comes to spinning setups because I want to take up line quickly, and the Kalon A does that, and it's very, very affordable. So you know you're looking at about 200 bucks for this entire setup, the way it sits. Now the next one, let's talk about you know, that $100 price range for a rod, and you know that's the Limit 5 series. Okay, this is the Limit 5 series by Thunderhawk. I've really grown to like this rod, especially in that $100 range. The only thing is, you know, it's the only thing I dislike about it. It's a $100 rod, and it's common. It's not super heavy, but you can tell a big difference in the weight between the Elite Series and especially the Tyco series rod. But it's, you know, it's got the short handle and stuff on it, which is what I like. You know, it's not a super long handle, so it's great for jerkbait fishing and stuff. You know, this is not going to be bumping into your bicep and all that. I love it for spinner baits, especially spinner baits that I'm not just throwing a country mile. I'm just trying to get it, you know, close to cover, really, really hammering down power fishing with a spinner bait. But either way, which this is a 7 foot, so, you know, it kind of all depends on, you know, what size you buy and stuff like that. But for a $100 rod, sensitivity wise, you know, great. As far as weight, is a little bit on the downside as far as weight, but you're going to sacrifice that with any $100 rod. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. You're not going to get a $100 rod that's as light as the Tyco or the Elite. Me personally, I've never saw one. Somebody may have found one, I don't know, but me personally, I've tried just about every brand, and I haven't found one that's as light as the Tyco or the Elite for $100 or less. But either way, you know, this is the reel that I was talking about. This is the 13 Fishing TXC or TX. Yeah, TX. I bought 10 of these jokers, and I'm not sure how much they retail for, but I highly suggest, not sponsored by them or anything, it's a local place here in Alabama, but you can order online from them. Shelton's Clothing and Outdoor, they have great wholesale prices, and you buy bulk. But I got 10 of these reels for like 300 bucks or something like that, and I have really grown to love them. The only reason I did that, my lures, you know, I've had them for a few years and just kind of wanted to try something different. I tried a buddy of mine that goes with me. He had some of those reels, and I really, really liked them. I wanted to get some for myself to run. And as far as durability and casting and gear ratio, all that good stuff, I've really grown to like the 13 Fishing. One of the pet peeves that I got to say about lures that I always didn't like was whether it was the spinning setup or the bait casting setup. I would constantly have to try pull my drag before I started fishing to make sure the drag was working properly. It seemed like every time I went to fish, if the reels or the reel set for just a couple of days, I always had to check that for sure, because it's just like something gets kind of wound up or something. I'm not exactly sure. It may be from getting it in and out of the box, but I don't have that issue with these 13 Fish ones. I can let these jokers sit for 4 or 5 days, get them out, and I mean, they're good, especially the spinning reel. But you know, if you're in that price range, I'd say, I don't know, maybe 150 bucks total for the combo. I highly suggest this setup. Now, the other one that I want to talk about, this may surprise you, and this would be a great starter kit for anybody, okay? A great starter setup. I've suggested it to other people. And, you know, if you're used to maybe an old style pistol grip fishing rods, and yes, there is people out there that still fish with them. I used to be one of them until I broke one. But either way, maybe you're the guy that, you know, fishes with a pistol grip and you're looking to upgrade to something, get used to something a little different. Or maybe you're just starting out in fishing. I highly suggest these, and you can get them from Walmart, Dunham's, any kind of stuff like that. But this is the Berkley Cherrywood. Okay, it's not a super light rod. It's not a super sensitive rod, but you're gonna catch fish on it. They're tough. I've carried this in through the woods many a times to go fish at the creek and stuff like that. I mean, I threw it on the ground, just, you know, tossing it, not, you know, throwing it like a spear or anything, but just tossing it down on the ground while I'm fishing at the cow ponds or something like that. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with this rod, especially when it's 25 bucks. Okay, yes, this rod's 25 bucks. And then I've got that Origin TX on there. You know, buy whatever reel, you know, you want to buy or feel comfortable buying. But either way, 20 bucks, 25 bucks ish, 25-ish. And then, you know, maybe spend $50 on a reel and you got less than $100 combo. And they have the 7-foot medium heavy, they got the 7-foot medium, they got the 6'10" medium, something like that, but a shorter version of the medium. And you know, I use this for buzz baits and stuff a lot, because if they hit it, I know they hit it because they come to the surface. But you know, either way, I kind of keep an array of everything. I got some expensive stuff, I've got some of the lower end stuff, and when I say, that's the thing, don't get confused. When I say high end, low end, I don't mean one's better than the other, because realistically it is, but it isn't. Okay, it's personal preference. If you're used to using a $25 rod and you're catching fish off a $25 rod, you're doing nothing wrong. If you're used to using a $300, $400, $500, $600 rod and you're catching fish, you're doing nothing wrong either. So, you know, that's one of the great things about bass fishing. But you know, if you're in the market for a reel and rod combo or something like that, those are the ones that I suggest getting close to Christmas. I get these questions a lot, so I just kind of wanted to do a video on it. And either way, guys, I really appreciate it. Make sure to check out my sponsors' links down below. If the video helps you at all, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know your favorite fishing rod, fishing reel. Let me know your favorite fishing bait. That way I can use it myself, and then we'll get the lakes pressured, and then you can't use it anymore. But either way, guys, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.